What's up, TikTok? It's your favorite nurse, Yomi Richardson of the Two Bad Nurses podcast. I definitely had to jump into this conversation to defend my girl Trina. She trending more now for what we're assuming is weight gain and a potential pregnancy more than she is for her legacy and the way that she was honored at the BET Awards. Let's get into it. So shout out to the BET Awards for taking this opportunity to acknowledge Trina while she's here. 100% support giving people their flowers while they're alive, because a lot of times in our society, we wait until people are dead and gone before we want to honor them, while we know that it is absolutely important to let people know what they've contributed to our lives, to the culture, to society in general while they're here. So big ups to the BET Awards for doing that. And just for the record, Look Back at It is my favorite Trina song. So social media is on fire right now in what everyone is assuming is a pregnancy with Trina. So looking at her on the stage, it's obvious that she is carrying extra weight in her midsection and that her belly does look a little bit rounded, which would signal that she is potentially pregnant. So let me tell y'all a story really quickly. I was a registered nurse, triage nurse at a level 1 trauma center, and a patient came in one time. And the woman, she was having a lot of difficulty breathing. I was checking her in, getting her demographic information. And when I looked at her, I said, "How far along are you?" Well, lo and behold, this woman was not pregnant. And she shot me a look of death. And if she had the breath to cuss me out, she probably would have. And what she said to me was, "I'm not pregnant." And when I looked at her, I was like, oh, and looking at her in the constellation of all the symptoms that she was presenting with, ascites, which is fluid among the abdomen, became the obvious clinical picture. So that day I absolutely stuck my foot in my mouth by thinking that this woman who had a whole nother condition was pregnant when she was not. So when I looked at Trina, what initially came to my mind was fibroid. And very succinctly, what fibroids are is it's fibrous tissue that grows inside of the uterus. I want to say it can grow outside of the uterus as well. But it's dense fibrous tissue that can cause a woman to bleed. It can cause abdominal pain. It can cause her to look bloated as if she is pregnant and she's not pregnant. And fibroids also contribute to miscarriages, because what happens is when a woman becomes pregnant, the fibroid grows with the baby in utero, and it actually crushes the baby to where the woman aborts the fetus. So my colleague and I, we're actually going to do a full episode about disclosing our medical record, what we need to be releasing to the media to justify any kind of outcome. More to follow on that, because I'm not a fan of that at all. And along the same vein of that discussion is, how does society allow women to age naturally? So the purpose of this podcast is to educate, because I absolutely don't want y'all putting your foot in your mouth like I did numerous years ago. And for the record, I do not know if Trina has fibroids. Too bad, nurses.